So I had cleaned up this desk to begin with. Well, started to clean it up because I had to make it look like we had it all together in my office. And then I realized this is exactly what we're talking about in this brief look at trying to uncomplicate Christmas, because it's complicated right now. This is an example of being overwhelmed. Because I want my wife to still like me, we're not going to go into the laundry room, we're not going to go into the living room, we're not going to go into other rooms, but a lot of them still look like this because during this season there's just too much. I become overwhelmed to the point where I look at this pile and I just think, what can I throw away? What can I just make go away? In fact, last night I just started throwing a few things away. Didn't even look at them. Because it's so overwhelming for it to be complicated that it's just easier to make it go away. And it doesn't seem to make sense to feel that way at the time of year that we're celebrating this peace, this joy, this hope, and this love. And yet Christmas is one of the most overwhelming times where you turn and receive this hope when you look in the right place. When we think of this season, we think it shouldn't feel like this. It should feel better because of what Christmas represents. A light came into the world, and yet it feels like we're in darkness. And the reality is that God's plan to bring Jesus into the world, we don't celebrate what's happening now, we celebrate what happened. Jesus had to come because of, well, what we do. We complicate things. That's why it's a joke, but it's really not even close to a joke, is that during Christmas, just after Thanksgiving, we're overwhelmed with family. Why? It's not supposed to be that way, but it is. And John was trying to explain who Jesus was. And by looking at who Jesus is, that uncomplicates things. Remember, if we focus not on what's happening, but on what happened, then we have a chance to see that faith, that joy, that hope, that love. In him, Jesus, was life. And that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John didn't write about Jesus' birth here. He went right to when he met him, what he knew about him. So he's saying he's the light of the world as an adult. He is life. And that life uncomplicates. It takes the hairball and starts to just pull the pieces apart. So as you go into this season, keep your eyes on what happened. You still have to pay attention to what's happening. But our focus for this season is on what happened. That God so loved the world that he sent his son, and in him was the light of the world, which cast out the darkness. Can't wait to share more about this on Sunday. So if you want to join us, go to branchesoc.com for directions, and we'll unpack this even more. God bless.